Every fiber of my censored body says, don't say this. Freedom! Anyway, it's looks like the fines are coming in, and they're closing the kettle, as one guy said. As the debate rages on inside. I don't really have any more comments on that. Like, subscribe, and leave yours below.
The Minister of Public Safety and the Minister for Emergency Preparedness have repeatedly stated that there is evidence of foreign extremist financing behind this convoy. Last week at Public Safety Committee, Deputy Director of Intelligence for FinTrack, Barry McKillop, stated that there is no evidence that this funding in Ottawa is tied to ideologically motivated extremism. Under further questioning, he stated that there has been no spike in suspicious transactions. Under what basis is this government freezing the bank accounts of Canadians in violation of Section 8 of the Charter against unreasonable search and seizure?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, I think it is going to be extremely important that in this House over the coming days there will be important and robust debate on many such issues. But I can highlight once again, Mr. Speaker, that the Charter of Rights and Freedoms continues to apply. The Emergencies Act is subject to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and the measures that we've brought forward are proportional, measured, and responsible, and designed to get Canadians their lives back, their communities back, and restore their freedoms.
Questions and comments. The Honourable Member for Bellay-Chambly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think that roughly everyone agrees about the intent, namely to end the siege in Ottawa, which is almost the only hostile protest that is still active here. If the intent is fine, well, while it is, the means to achieve the end is not. If Quebec had ended protests, well, they did without the Emergencies Act. They opened the border without using the Act, and arms were seized without the Emergency Measures Act. And the Ambassador's Bridge was reopened without the Emergencies Act. And there are other situations that were solved without this Act. How come the Prime Minister say that there's no other means to intervene? And how come he cannot exclude the other provinces such as Quebec who do not want to be subject to the use of the Emergencies Act? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Police forces in jurisdictions across the country now have more tools at their disposal to tackle these blockades and illegal occupations when and if they are needed. And we will continue to make sure that measures are proportional and reasonable and limited in time. But it is important to give more tools to our police officers who need them. We understand that in many parts of the country, they were able to properly control the situation, but the Emergencies Act applies across the country, will only be used, though, when it is necessary.
Questions and comments. Question et commentaire. The Honourable Member for Burnaby South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For weeks, this occupation was allowed to continue. People lost their wages. Citizens were harassed. The potential for violence grew. And the federal government, instead of acting, argued over jurisdiction. So what responsibility does the Prime Minister take for the inaction that made the Emergencies Act necessary?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the opportunity to reiterate that from day one of these barricades and blockages and occupations, the federal government has been supplying resources and working closely with local police of jurisdictions to ensure that they had the tools that they needed. Obviously, this situation has evolved, this situation has escalated, but every step of the way, the federal government has been there to support the law enforcement of jurisdiction. Here in Ottawa, that means the Ottawa Police Services and the OPP, and we will continue to be there with the RCMP as necessary.
Time for about a 15-second question and answer. The honourable member for Ottawa Centre.
Thank you very much, Speaker. As you're very much aware that my riding includes Parliament Hill, which has been under siege for over 3 weeks now, Speaker. My community has been held hostage, and I can assure you that these protests have not been peaceful or lawful. My question to the Prime Minister is, how is this Emergencies Act is going to help my constituents in Ottawa Centre?
The Honourable Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians continue to have the right to free expression, the right to protest peacefully, but occupying the downtown of our major cities, protesting and blocking border crossings is unacceptable. That is why we have given more tools in a proportional way to police officers.
Reprise du débat, continuing debate. The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.